Welcome back to your part 2 Halloween extravaganza. All of these things are budget friendly for your points or calories. We want to have a festive holiday, but also keeping our health in mind. You can have the best of both worlds. Don't let someone tell you you can't have it all, because you can. My name is Amber and I am on a health journey, but also prioritizing loving my life and the journey to get there, because once you get there, you got to stay there or else you're getting it all back, right? So let's get into this second part of our Halloween fun. So we have all the things that include the 2-ingredient dough today. I like to call these things semi-homemade because we are using some convenience items from the grocery store and just adding a little pizzazz to them to make them something fun and interesting. If you missed my part 1 of this Halloween 2-part series, I will link that up here, but I'll also link it at the end of the video so you can go straight to it from the end. Just watch this on the way through. You don't have to watch them in any particular order. They're completely separate recipes. We're just adding them all together for the ultimate fun. Okay guys, if you've ever been to a potluck, you've probably had this. We're gonna use these little Smokies into our crock pot. We're gonna smother it with this sugar-free barbecue sauce and let it do its thing. We just put our potatoes in, so these are gonna cook at least 2 hours. Give yourself some time, put them on, don't worry about it for several hours. Maybe stir here and there if you feel like it. I really don't need a giant crock pot for the small amount that we have, but I wanted to show you that it could work. You can also cook these on the stovetop if you'd like. I just like the simplicity of the slow cooker because then we don't have to worry about them. We're not terrified that they're gonna burn or overcook. Give them a little zhuzh in the sauce. Turn this sucker on low and be done. Like, you're done, that's it. So easy. We're gonna call these Halloweenies. Yeah. And to serve them, I'm going to stab them, because it's Halloween, with these fancy toothpicks and put them on a little platter. Feel free to put them in a bowl with regular toothpicks on the side, however you want to do it. I already have these, so I'm going to use them. And on to the next thing, guys. We are rolling now. We're gonna start off with our 2-ingredient dough. We're gonna use equal parts Greek yogurt and self-rising flour. I made all of my Greek yogurt at one time and then divided it for each recipe. So because I was doing small amounts for each recipe, I did 1 cup of the self-rising flour, 1 cup of the Greek yogurt. Make sure to add some of that flour to the side so that you can use it as you're rolling out, especially if you're putting your bag up. It's really annoying to get everything cleaned up and then realize you need some more for the side. You're gonna mix this really well and then start to knead with your hands until all of that flour on the bottom of the bowl is incorporated. I have been loving this dough. If you have been here for a while, you know I have been experimenting with it for the last month or so, and today is no exception. Go ahead and put a towel over it and let it rest, and now we're gonna make some little witch's broomsticks. I thought this was a good opportunity while my dough is resting to have a little fun. I cut my cheese into thirds. I missed it a little bit, so I had to chop a little off. And then I made slices, rotated the cheese stick, and then sliced again, just to give it the illusion of a broom. Then we're gonna shove a pretzel in there. It might slice it open a little bit, especially if you shove the pretzel in too hard, but that chive holds it together really well. I found it was easiest if I used a whole chive per little broomstick because it gives you plenty of room to tie it and then just cut off what you don't need. I cut off what I didn't need and then actually chopped it up for my potato skins. So don't throw them away. You can chop them up and use them for something else. These came together really quickly and they were delicious actually. And you can have 2 of them for 1 point, which is always a win. It's time to make our mummy dogs. If you wanted to do the whole package of the turkey weenies, that would be 10 weenies, and you'd need 2/3 cup of the Greek yogurt and 2/3 cup of the flour. I'm only doing 5 of them, so I used 1/3 of a cup for each. And then you're going to, again, use that flour to help you roll it out. If it starts sticking, just add a little more extra flour. And I want these long and thin because I'm going to cut them into strips and wrap them around like they're mummy wrapping. You don't need to be perfect or precise in this one. Just cut like-sized pieces, or you can see I even cut some big, some small, just to give variation and interest to our weenies. Now we're going to take them out and roll them up. I didn't really pay attention to how many I was using per weenie. I just got the general wrapping on it. These will puff up a little bit, so you don't need to cover all of it perfectly. I like to start with the head and make sure I have enough to have the head like kind of solid where there's dough covering the whole head. And then you want to leave a space where you can put on eyes later and then wrap the bottom. I like to go down the bottom and then back up to where the face is, just so again it gives some interest to the way the hot dogs look, and then use that edible pin to make little eyeballs, or you can use mustard or ketchup to make eyeballs. I thought this was the easiest way, and they're super cute. I baked these on 400 degrees between 15 and 20 minutes. Just check on them along the way. And as you can see in the picture, we serve this alongside with some mustard. Now for our breadsticks. Again, I had made all of my 2-ingredient dough at one time, so mine's already done. But if you're making this, for 4 breadsticks, you need 1/3 cup of the dough and Greek yogurt. So if you want more than that, then double up. I would recommend slicing them thicker because I got 4 bones out of this. However, the cheese did seep out because I didn't have quite enough to completely wrap it. I opened that light string cheese and cut them in half so it wouldn't be overly filled. But again, cut yours wider so you have more room to wrap right here. See, you can tell I even had to add a little bit of that extra dough on the side. It wasn't enough. You might even want to put some egg wash on it so it seals it. And then you roll up those extra ends because you want it to be a little longer than you need. So you can roll them up and then cut them in half so they puff up like the end of your bone. See how I'm taking the end, rolling it up, flipping it over. That's my front. Now I'm cutting it in half and kind of separating those little knobs so when they puffs up, it looks like a bone. See, I just made it work and I should have just re-rolled it thicker. Learn from me, guys. Learn the lessons. These were really delicious and I enjoyed them a lot. We might make these again, but if you don't want the cheese, you can just roll them up and make breadsticks out of them. It'd still be really, really good, especially with that marinara. Now that they are all done, I'm going to spray them with an olive oil and then sprinkle Italian seasoning on them. I baked them with the hot dogs at 400 for 15 to 20 minutes. If you're making more of each of these than I am, you'll need to spread it up into 2 different cookie sheets. Thanks so much for spending your Halloween with me. I had a blast making this video. Like I said, Halloween is my second favorite holiday. I hope I showed you that you can have a great time on a budget and also within your points or calories for your day. And I will see you on Wednesday.
Please like and subscribe to the channel.